Hey, Freddy. I'm going to take care of your dandruff problem for you.
You got a problem?
Charles Bronson.
Guns make you nervous?
Death Wish.
Welcome to The Good, the Bad, and the Sequel. It's a very special episode. We're kicking off year 5, and there was only one way we could do it. Actually, a few different ways. I can't believe we've been doing this for 4 years, and this is kicking off the 5th year of our sequel watching adventure. So we're going to go with the only 5th installment that would really matter. So you're near and dear to me and Jamie's hearts, and Death Wish 5, which is absolutely insane. And before I say anything else or introduce Jamie, I guess I'm going to say one thing. I'm going to say thank you to Jamie. Like, the fact that we started this, I think it was a conversation in January of 2019, and we were like, hey, let's do this podcast. I was like, yeah, but we got to make it different. So, like, sequels was like a niche, and then really doing the interviews and having the opportunity to talk to, God, like over 125, 150 people that we love, that we grew up watching and still watch the films of, whether it's in front of the camera or behind the camera. And we've got some amazing stories. You know, there's people that we talked to that passed away, and we had loved ones reach out to us, like the late, great Tim Lawrence. And there's just so many conversations and connections that we had. Before we get started, just like for me, a few highlights over the years, like obviously starting this is mind-blowing that we're this far in. Having Brittany Amber, adult film star, so, you know, she was cool enough that she joined us for an actual review. The Death Wish 3 reunion with our buddy Chris Bronson, Chris Roush. You know, we'll have Alex Winter, Tony Spiridakis, The Giggler, Kirk Taylor. Just there's so many. Obviously, having the opportunity to talk with Jamie, you know, every 2 weeks and review a sequel. Some we've seen, some we haven't. Some he wishes he's never seen, like Mirror 3. But it's been so much fun. And now you heard the laugh of my partner in the sequel watching journey, Jamie Riccardi. Jamie, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. I can't believe it's been 4 years. And I have to be honest, when you told me, you know, or you suggested let's do this podcast, I didn't think it was going to take up 4 years of my time. You know, I thought it'd be like, all right, yeah, we'll do it, you know, a couple of times. It'll be fun, you know, and for the fact that it is, all, you know, we're starting our 5th year is mind blowing.
Yeah,
mind blowing.
Well, I think we're starting our 6th year. I think I was doing the math wrong. I think we completed 5 full years. I would think,
okay,
right?
All right. So even
yeah,
so,
I
mean,
totally
like,
boned that.
That's all right. That's what she said. So, but yeah, you know what? And like you said, this is a special, you know, podcast review. And, you know, we came up with the idea to, you know, to have 2 specialists on with us. The first time we've ever had 2 specialists. And I think that is something, again, without them, we wouldn't get past half the half the movies that we reviewed. So
I know, I agree. And up first, and in no particular order, he is our action sequel expert. He's talked Seagal. He's talked Statham, and he was in his break room throwing stuff around during that review. Best of the best. He dressed like karate master, and of course, Death Wish 3, Death Wish 4. I'm talking about Andrew Powers. Andrew, how are you doing, man?
Doing good. How are you, Doug?
Good, man. I'm happy you could join us for this.
You don't care how I'm doing?
Yeah.
Oh, Jamie. How are you doing,
yeah.
Jamie?
I'm doing good. Thank you.
Great.
Death Wish 5. I'm so happy they made a 5th one. Obviously, we still have the 2nd one to cover, but I think this is like the perfect piece for the 5 years. You get to cover the 5th one. I did this on VHS. I watch this a lot. Andrew, have you ever seen this one before prior to this week?
Nope. This was a first watch, Doug.
I love it. That is great.
My first watch also, by the way.
Oh, nice. Okay, we'll ask our next guest, man. Nick, I've known Nick a long time. I've known Andrew a long time. Nick has somehow, Jamie thinks that I don't like him for some reason. With the movie sequel choices I give him, I've given him Gold. I've given him Munchie. Munchie Strikes Back. He's our Piranha expert. Piranha 2. Piranha 3 Double D. and he's had some gems. Goalies go to college, but I think the best one that we ever gave him, Cannonball Run 2. There's too many more to name because he's been such a loyal, somebody that joins us on a short time notice. Sometimes we're like, hey, how about Tuesday? And it's like 2 days before. But Nick Sperdone, Nick, how you doing, man?
Good, Doug. Thanks, Jamie and Doug. And yeah, it's a pleasure to be here on your 5th anniversary. I appreciate you taking me along on this long, sometimes brutal journey with you guys. But no, I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
You know, Nick, I know we bust you that having the worst movies, but I do feel that you walk away liking most of the movies that you have reviewed.
Yeah.
I've learned
so let's not like.
I've learned to try to find the positive in everything. And I have you guys to think. Yeah. I mean, Munchie really scarred me. So it was all up from there.
All right. So this is perfect. So was Nick, this is the first watch, I assume?
Yeah. This was the first time I've watched this one. I've watched like the first 4 multiple times. And trying to find this movie was trying to find like a needle in the haystack. But I was able to after some finagling.
Yeah. So is this the last Death Wish now? Like, is this?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Until the reboot.
Well, yeah. But I mean, you know, see, again, I never seen any of the Death Wishes until we started reviewing it, and seeing what Bronson looked like in this one. I can't imagine another one after this. You know.
He passed away. I think like 3 years after this.
He had like a grandma hairstyle. Like I felt like he looked like if he shaved his mustache, he would look like Angela Lansbury. That's like that's the kind because he had like that face, like really like he just looked like an old lady. Like if you shaved his, that's what he looked like, and it was
he looked puffy. He looked puffy.
He did. One. He looked puffy, and he looked old, and the hair just did not help. So that was my okay.
So so let's get into it. We'll be able to cover so many.
So this might be a record, by the way. 1 minute in and boobs already. So this might be
a record. Yeah,
this might be a record. So yeah.
Okay. And I love that. I the first. I don't know who produced the first Death Wish, but then afterwards 2, 3, 4, and a ton of other Bronson movies in the 80s were canon films. And this one, I didn't know Mahayam Golem produced this one, but he did it for 21st Century Films. Maybe that's why it was so hard to find, because this is one that is never on Tubi, never on Prime, like for free or anything. But yeah, Jamie, you said it right. We get boobs the first minute. I thought canon didn't care. Man, 21st Century is like, hey, we're going to be ahead of the curve. We're showing boobs. We're getting it out of the way. And you get like super close-ups of this fashion show. And then it's mind-blowing that Bronson gets older and the ratio is still the same. I bet you maybe him to the woman in Death Wish 3 is the widest gap. But Leslie Ann Down, even at this point, is 30 years.
Way better than him. I mean, but my question, and I don't even remember the other ones anyway, but I'm assuming he has like a girlfriend in every movie almost. Like, do they all die?
Well, he's married.
Married the first one.
Yeah.
Okay, so did they all die?
All die.
Yeah.
Okay, so at what point do you like kind of do research on the guy you're dating and say, hey, you know what? This is probably not going to work out. I mean, you know, your last few, and it's not like any of them died of natural causes, right? They all died probably by
one was carrying airplane fuel in the trunk in Death Wish 3, and the car exploded. The fourth one, she made it to the end.
Yeah, she got Uzi'd.
Yeah. Okay, so I mean, the odds are your relationship working or lasting is not good.
Yeah, what about like the first date too? You ask about like relationships you've been in. Oh, so do you still talk to your exes? And he's like,
like, no, I don't.
Wait a second. You on your first date, you talk about past relationships?
Well, I haven't been on a first date in a very long time, but maybe when you're older, maybe people do talk about that. Maybe they're like, hey, you know what? You're 50 something. Why aren't you with?
Tell me about all your partners.
Right?
Really?
Yeah,
like,
maybe.
I don't know about that.
All right,
so when was your last girlfriend, boyfriend?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that's a topic of conversation.
Even fifth dating, that comes up. What's he gonna say? He has to answer the question, right?
He said, "No, I'm Professor Stewart. You're my first relationship."
Oh,
A professor. He's a mildly average architect, and now he's teaching a generation of mildly average architects.
Okay, forget that. His house is massive. What professor makes that much money for the size of the house that he has?
Well, he
A really
always has
good one.
money. He must be good with money because if you remember in the fourth movie, the third one, he's living in Charlie's apartment. Maybe he saved all his money during that. But in the fourth one, remember his house? He was living in his what? It seemed like it was her house throughout the whole movie. But then he had that hidden gun thing in the kitchen.
Yeah, the safe.
That he
Yeah.
could like go. Yeah.
Okay.
Jesus Christ. But yeah, the fact that it's like, yeah, and then Leslie Ann Down, Tie to Us is Don Fauntleroy's wife, cinematographer.
She kicks the dog.
Munchie. She kicks the dog right around this time. So she filmed Munchie Strikes Back and this one. So she was like getting, her face smashed into a mirror. Then 2 months later, she's dealing with Munchie.
She's punting a dog.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get to that part of the mirror because I'm going to say it now. When she took her bandages off and she's like, "Don't look at me, don't look at me." I'm expecting a face that is like rearranged, and it looked like just like crayon marks all over her face. Like she didn't. It just looked like little bruises. Like she was acting as if she was like the Elephant Man. They took it off and you're gonna see this deformed woman. She didn't look bad at all. Like it was like
the nurse sold it too. She'll never look the same. Like she looks exactly the same.
The picture of her was behind her. When she took the bandages off, she looked at a picture of herself.
Yes,
and she was like really hot there. And then the other one, she was like, "Hey, I just got some cuts on her face." Bronson's probably like, "Hey, I don't care. I'm 75. It doesn't even work down there. So let's just
absolutely.
It's working." The look on his face, though, when she's like, she'll never look the same again, and he's like, "How can I get out of this relationship?" Well, he doesn't have to wait too. He doesn't have to wait too long because he does get out of it.
Well, yeah. But I think Andrew was 100% right. Like that nurse made it sound like we barely were able to put her back together, so she's not going to look the same again.
Right.
And then she takes it off, and literally, just like a couple, like a cat scratched her. That's what it looks like. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's
ridiculous.
Yeah.
They could have made it a little bit more gruesome. I mean,
Oh, yeah, why not? I don't know why they wouldn't have. It was like way too, okay, this is like not that big of a deal, like at all. So then we get, Tommy O'Shea, the actor who plays Tommy O'Shea, he's one of those guys. He's been in a million things. I feel like he was even in like The Sopranos or.
He was in Twin Peaks.
He was
in Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, he plays a great mafia type guy. So this is like obviously he went against the mafia in the fourth movie, like it was like the cartels. But in this one, it's like the New York Mafia, which was like a cool little different thing for Bronson to go against.
Is it really a mafia? Because for the most part, it's like four guys. Until the end, there's an extra like 3 or 4 people they hired, but for the most part, it's 4 guys. And if it's a mafia,
yes, you mentioned it. I have to say this now so I don't forget. So later in the movie, when they're at a funeral, I won't say whose, and they have all those guys that pull guns on a child that brings in a note, and the fact that those guys aren't with them at the end. I was
correct.
Like, wait, this is so stupid. And the other guys weren't even at the funeral. Like that bald guy with the weird voice.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, the guy with the Bane voice.
Yes.
Well, again, that's another whole thing.
I was like, what is going? Yeah. Well.
Is Tommy the lead of this mafia? Because if he is like the head guy, he wouldn't be going on all these little trips with all the other guys. Like he sends his soldiers out. So I don't think it's a mafia thing. I think it's just like, he's just running this little small gang. Because first of all,
he's playing it super Italian, but every time it's like, O'Shea, I'm like, O'Shea?
Yeah, that is funny.
Fuck is the...
So here's another detail that it kind of came up in another movie. We talked about like what's tough, like what's food that makes you look tough when you're eating it, and they always say apples. Do lollipops count as looking tough? Like if
would you mess with Kojak?
Okay, but he's also bald. So I mean, like, I think if you think a lollipop and bald, you're a little tougher. But like this guy is like using it as like a tough guy. I don't know if I take that serious.
So if you have a lollipop and you have hair, you're pretty much the Tootsie Pop Al.
Yeah, well, I also, again,
He's
he's clearly has a problem because the one guy rips it out of his mouth in the beginning, but then the guy has another lollipop later on again.
Like he went to the doctors and he got those little dum-dums that they give out at the doctor's office.
I mean, but honestly, if you have like two guys kind of shake someone down for money and a guy comes in with a lollipop, I mean, it's just ridiculous. So stupid.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
that
then,
was definitely
Tom,
that was definitely an actor's choice. He's like, my character would have something in his mouth at all time, and he's like, I don't smoke.
They're like, hey, that's not good for the sound. That's not good for the sound. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do whatever. He started crumbling wrappers and stuff.
Or maybe he wasn't supposed to have it on, and that's why the guy ripped it out of his mouth the one time. He's like, just. Here's one level detail. I don't know if you noticed. It's small, but I thought it was a little funny. So when it's Tommy, right? The Irish, the main guy.
Tommy, yeah.
Okay,
Tommy.
So when the limo arrives, he's wearing sunglasses. He gets out of the limo. He takes his sunglasses off, walks into the building, puts the sunglasses back on.
I like it. His future's so bright.
And it was like literally, it was so obvious that he did this. I'm like, what is he doing? And then he's wearing sunglasses the rest of the movie when he's indoors.
He had cataract surgery. He was.
You gotta be mindful. The fact that he assaults his wife, his ex-wife, in no time, he shows up, grabs her so hard by the wrist, like she is, and we find out like minutes later, his operation is money laundering. So he needs the clothes to sell. The only way he can sell the clothes, which I think his clothing line's better later in the movie because it's actually selling stuff. But like in this part, he's assaulting her in the middle of a fashion show. Well, obviously it doesn't look like it's a lot of important people, but in the middle of this, assaulting her.
He clearly doesn't care because he does a lot of things in front of people that are pretty much illegal. But you did mention fashion show. Now, there's a little girl there. How old is the girl?
Like
12.
12. The girl that's
12,
dressed in
12,
like
14.
a Christmas outfit.
Yes. Okay. So 12. Yeah, the fashion show looks like it's an S&M like leather. Like
later,
I mean, like the outfit.
later. Yeah.
Oh,
this one.
Later.
No, this
chainmail.
one. No, this one.
The second one is the later one is with Tommy.
Negative.
That's when Tommy runs it and he makes it. Yes.
No, the first one is like leather. The second one was more chains, and there's two separate.
Was it the first one was leather?
The first one was complete S&M. It's my third note in, so it's the first one. And so I was like, why is this kid sitting here? Because they were definitely not appropriate, outfits for a kid to be watching. So
even more so later on with the chainmail.
Well,
the bad parenting is
definitely bad parenting. So
and that Tommy guy already something bad's gonna happen to him because he calls Bronson a geek. Who's that geek over there with Chelsea?
That was pretty funny. That was very funny.
And poor Albert.
I love that nobody knows who he is, right? Like this is the craziest thing about this movie. He's back in New York.
He is?
Oh, that is
he?
true.
Yeah,
well, that's why he has a different name.
A little later, right?
Okay, because that was another question. So this is a guy that has no badge who's killed multiple people in 5 movies or 4 movies. Why is he not in jail?
The thing I found funny too, it's
scumbags off the street.
It's like the even number movies are in New York, and the odd number the odd number movies are in New York, and the even number movies are in L.A. I just found that funny.
That works out. That tracks.
Interesting.
1, 3, and 5.
But why? I don't think they would let you do witness protection. If I was if they needed to put me on witness protection, they would make me go to like Des Moines, Iowa. They wouldn't let you go back to New York where you've murdered
the same place, right?
200 people.
Or and be in contact with people that you've known, or have you kind of like if you're in witness protection, I'm assuming they check up on you and stuff, right? I'm sure like they make sure everything. So you're dating an ex mafia, like head of mafia,
dude.
They're gonna allow that? Like I mean, that you're totally bringing attention to you, like right off the bat. So and let's be honest, I don't see Charles Bronson just sitting in witness protection. He's gonna get too bored.
He's a go-getter. Yeah, he's a go-getter.
But you're kind of right because when you're talking about Bronson's last, last wives, he proposed to her in like the first 10 minutes. So
Well, because he didn't have a lot of time. He knew he
did
didn't.
his ex right now. Like this is the first time he's ever in. Is this? I don't understand that. How he's coming into knowledge of this ex right now, right before he proposes the next day.
But it seemed like she was ready for it. She was expecting like a ring or something. She was like, "Oh, that's what it is, right? Oh yeah, okay."
Well, anything is better than Tommy. I mean, if her last person she dated was Tommy, you know what? You can't get worse than that. So I mean, look at the way he treats his own child. Later on. So but I think,
man, 30 years older than me, I'll date you. You're better than the a-hole I was with.
Do you think that Charles Bronson is a murderer because he literally knows that this woman he's going to propose to is not going to make it? I mean, if history repeats itself, 4 other times it didn't work out and it all ended bad. So he's got to know in the back of his head that I know if I continue dating her and I get married or get engaged, she's going to die. So is he guilty for that? Like,
he's a little guilty. Well, we always talk about these movies we'd love to see. Why didn't they never do a spoof of this in anything? Wouldn't that be great? He starts dating someone and he knows like his history that when I start dating you, bad things are gonna happen. And he's like trying to he gets like a priest. They go do like a drive-through Elvis thing or something. Because you're right. This is like she doesn't last that long. And I forgot if she made it. I remember like from when I was a kid watching this a lot. I knew she died, but I don't remember how far in. And I was kind of shocked that it was, again, really early.
I didn't think she was making it out of the bathroom. So,
I know.
I mean, right there. I mean, I don't know. He should not be dating anybody. And now the fact that she has a daughter, so he knows he's leaving his poor kid without, parents.
Yeah, that's true.
He should just be a monk.
Your dad and your mom's gonna die.
Just move to Tibet and just be a monk. I don't know. Find inner peace.
The scene in the warehouse is very. There's just so many questions in that warehouse. And I think we kind of covered this a little bit in Mannequin 2, like with the mannequin breaking machine from that movie. Like in this one, like why is there a vat that melts?
Just right there.
It's a vat of acid. Okay, not only that. The gate is always open. There's no locker. Like there's like no security or anything to protect anyone from in there. And it's like a boiling like acid vat. It's almost like the one from The Last Dragon. Or no, was it The Last Dragon that had?
I was thinking Joker in Batman.
Oh, Joker, right?
Batman.
Okay,
yeah,
right. Yeah, but that warehouse had a bunch of those. What's the purpose of an acid bath in this warehouse?
I was thinking so people couldn't steal the clothes, old ruined clothes. But I'm like. That looks so dangerous. It was like just a big old bowl of soup.
All the machines look dangerous, and then you have a table saw right next door, the crusher, this is a warehouse,
That did not pass safety codes at all.
OSHA was not messing.
Unless mannequins are that tough to break.
No, they were flimsy.
Why would they make them so bad? Why would you make something that's so hard to break? It's like, hey, here's a mannequin. When you want to get rid of it, good luck.
Have you ever? They're super flammable too. They're super flammable.
They are.
Yes,
but
they are.
Have you ever lifted a mannequin? No one's ever lifted a mannequin here. Right.
I have.
So maybe they're made of
I
cement.
have.
You lifted a mannequin?
They're not super heavy. When I helped Andrew's cousin Tom's dad Sport World. When we moved Sport World, they had mannequins in the old basement.
Did you take it home? Did you take it home for the weekend?
Yeah, we're married. We have 2 kids. Yeah.
I don't know if you were maybe hoping a mannequin thing would happen, and you tried kissing it like the guy did in the second one, He's like, come on, Kim Cattrall, right? Come on.
I don't know. I probably take Christy Swanson. If I had a choice.
Don't tell me little girls don't hope to find a frog and try to kiss the frog and hope a prince comes out. So Doug found a mannequin and was hoping that
they married
a live woman.
Okay. Listen, live your truth, Doug. Live your truth.
Live it. Yeah.
Wait, so this guy is going there because clearly he's not making enough money, right, for the laundering, and so the guy's getting angry. Tommy's getting angry. the clothes is where he's going to get the money from. But so he decides to throw the clothes into the vat of acid and ruin that's
Well, to
kind of
write
throwing
it
money
off,
away.
to basically get rid of inventory. I guess that's what he's doing.
So why does he do it for all of it then? If he's going to do it that way, when he was doing that, it just didn't make sense because that's where he's getting his money from, and you're destroying the product.
Well, it didn't make sense because remember he said, was it Albert, the fat guy who said
Albert?
Albert. We're laundering more money than merchandise or something to that effect. So you would think you would need to increase the merchandise. Like if that's imbalanced, you would need more merchandise to justify.
Yes.
Correct.
So not less merchandise that you're throwing in the vat of acid, which I did just quickly Google. It looks like there's if there's anyone from the textile industry listening, there's something about vat dye, which appears to be something using a caustic acid that may be something of use in the textile industry. So,
Okay.
Really? Probably what was in that, probably what was in that vat.
Truth, yeah, okay. But if that's the truth, you need a tub of that? I mean, you could probably put it in a little container and squirt it on or whatever you need. I don't think you need a full tub of
a little
boiling acid.
You don't want something that people can trip into.
Correct.
And
the whole body goes
and be
into.
gone.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. All right.
That's the most important training and safety video. And it's like one of those comical safety videos.
And okay, wait. Which one is Albert? The lollipop guy?
No, Albert's the
big fat accountant. He's the accountant.
Okay. Oh my gosh! They fat shamed the entire scene.
So bad for him. I'm like,
oh my gosh! Yeah.
Oh, and Chicky,
did you feel more bad for that or the? Oh, you what?
I was saying, Chicky, you're not really no slim pickings either, my friend. All right, you could loot. You could stand to stop eating some cannolis for a little bit,
And Sal, not only they were super skinny, and then the fact that he was going to cut him with the thing, and it seemed like Tommy was just going to scare him, and then he was like
joking.
Hey, I feel like cutting somebody today.
It seemed like he got I was like, oh no, I didn't mean to do that. He's almost like he was about to say sorry, but then he's like, whatever.
You know what? Yeah. I thought it was going to be way worse. I thought even though he got him on the side, I expected way worse to happen to him.
All the way through,
yeah. Or he lifted his shirt up. I thought we were going right to the stomach. There's a reason. Yeah. So, but
they made him feel
shaming.
They made him feel like complete shit. I'm just like, dude, that's awful.
You know what? That's got to be awful. You feel like crap for being made fun of, and then they harm you physically. So first they harm you mentally, and then they hurt you physically. That's like torture. That's real torture from both ends.
Stones will break your bones, and names will hurt you along with saws.
So will a table saw? Yeah.
Oh my god!
Is a table saw needed? Is a table saw needed for a
I was thinking about that, dude. Yeah, I don't know.
What is that for?
What clothes are you cutting with something the blades that sharp? I would think if you're cutting something, it have to be very fine blades.
Those are for the mannequins.
Maybe for chainmail.
Oh yeah,
for the chainmail.
Chainmail. Yeah,
maybe for that. But who saves the day? The security guard, and they use the N-word.
Wait, does he save the day?
Oh.
Well, he does for well, Albert's not dead. Yeah.
No, that's true. Yeah, but right away they use it. Yeah, they.
Right.
That was.
Yeah, but clearly these guys don't care of insulting anybody. I mean, but that was it was so unneeded. I mean, so
yeah, when they're holding his face and they cut him and they said, "Take your problem up with the NWACP."
Yeah.
What year was this movie?
94. Right?
94.
See, I'm surprised then because I could see that being said in the 80s. That's but to be in the 90s already and throw that in there again, it's not needed.
I think up until 95 we were still
95 was yeah.
Oh, okay, all right.
That's when it switched. This movie actually was the one that brought along those.
This changed the game.
Well, you know what? And it probably ended the boob law of movies.
Oh my gosh! Could you imagine that?
Considering it wasn't a needed scene. It was the first minute. The movie didn't even start yet.
It was needed.
Well, needed, but movie needed. Yeah. I mean, so imagine this is the reason why all these different rules came in because of Death Wish 5.
Imagine the screenings of these movies. They probably maybe back in the day in the 80s, they can only find horny teenagers to watch these movies and give reviews, but love the boobs. They're like, we're put more boobs in. But then they got to the point maybe they didn't go anymore because obviously no, all joking aside, if they cut that scene out, it'd be like, all right, fine. Do we really need it? But when you see it, you're like, oh, okay, this is like a little spicy. This is gonna be edgy, and there is like things in this movie that we'll get into like pretty soon. But like, I do love that they didn't make Bronson like a spring chicken. He's not like really fighting people. He's really being crafty because that's all he has, and I really appreciate that they wrote.
It would take a lot of special effects and makeup to make him a spring chicken. So that's why they did not make him a spring chicken, because he looks old. I look at this movie and I'm like, would I be scared of a guy like this? I mean, like, he's an old man. Like,
and that's his greatest weapon is the ability to put you off and not like make you fear. But then he's pulling out his Smith and Wesson and shoot.
Where's Wilty? Isn't that his gun?
Yeah,
Wilty?
I know he should have brought Wildy back, yeah.
Oh, Wildy. Okay.
But he's very he's kind of like a pacifist the way he acts, because I guess he doesn't want to blow his undercover, because when he sees the gun, and I love that Tommy's daughter's right there. He has blood on his shirt, and he's like, like it's like jelly on there. And Bronson has the line. There's some great lines in this movie. I wrote so many. He says, do guns make you nervous? Idiots with guns make me nervous. And it's like, okay, I like
Well,
it.
he uses the line later on. He uses the same line something like that later on.
Yeah, it was a good callback at the end,
Yeah.
Oh, man. Good actors in this movie, like the DA and the actor who plays the assistant DA, Vasquez. He was in a ton of stuff, but right around this time, Jurassic Park, he's the one in the beginning of the movie that finds the ore and brings it back and meets John Hammond in that opening scene. And the other guy was in a ton of stuff.
And
I feel like
Saul Rubinek. Yeah, he was in a lot of stuff.
So much.
He was in True Romance. Oh.
Yes, I was trying to think.
Oh, yeah.
He played like the same guy.
Yeah.
Years, right?
No, kind of like he was like a lawyer.
He wasn't a DA, but I'm saying like he was wearing a
No, he
suit.
wasn't. I don't think he was a lawyer. He was just like I thought he was like an entertainment business.
He was like a producer or something. Yeah.
But he was that like sleazy, like, rich guy. He had like girls all around him all the time, the party. Like that's the guy he played in True Romance.
Yeah. He's great.
So it's something I noticed also, and we went over it. So the two henchmen that were Tommy, one has the lollipop. And I noticed like this happens. Dean Martin's brother.
Sal.
So I've noticed that in a lot of these movies, they always have ulcers. All the like the hitmen always taking pills.
There's a lot of stress being in the mafioso. There's a lot of gabagool.
I got my blood pressure.
Dumb and Dumber. He had the ulcer. He needed his pills. Like you always see these guys.
He looked like him, right? He acted like him. I wonder if they inspired one another. I don't know what came out first, but
why would you get into this business if you need to constantly take ulcer pills because your stress can't take?
Well, you do find out later on he's trying to get out. He's trying to get out. He's thinking about his health.
You know what? He knew this is not something that happened recently. Like he's been dealing with this problem for a long time.
Yeah.
It's not the right, and he seems like a wimp. I mean, clearly at the end of the movie. So like he's in the wrong business.
So here's my first big question of the movie, which makes zero sense. So the DA and Vasquez drive out to Bronson because Bronson said he's going to make a phone call about everything and yada, yada, yada. They meet for 5 seconds in the hallway of the house. And he goes, all right, great. Let's talk tomorrow at my office. Wait, so he drove out to you to not talk, and you're gonna talk tomorrow at the office? That was like
pre-cell phones.
Can that be a phone call?
So is he part of the witness protection? Like, is that because he knows about his background, right? He said,
yeah.
I think,
so
right?
yeah, well, he's
okay.
he's in the government, so I'm sure he knows who he really is, and then even give him a different first name.
Oh, his name is Paul
Paul's
Stewart.
a common name around this time. But I'm saying the first name. I'm saying like it's the same thing. Like if you give him something different, somebody can see you in the street, especially if you're in the city that you've kind of lived in for a long time. So hey, Paul, you don't look, and then it's fine. But you have to answer that, and they're like, "Oh, I'm not that."
The
Paul.
same, yeah. That's like giving someone like just glasses for a disguise. Like, all right, we're gonna, you're in witness protection. Here's glasses, and you're gonna be okay.
Groucho knows, yeah.
The Groucho knows.
That reminds me of was it Wrongfully Accused? when Leslie Nielsen
Leslie Nielsen.
draws a sketch, and the guy comes out of the bathroom looking at the guy he drew.
Yeah, he draws on his own one poster.
Yes, but he draws the glasses and like a nose, and the guy comes out looking exactly like it. That was amazing. That's
such a good movie.
So then now here's what Jamie wanted to talk about. So we're at dinner. Bronson gives her what I wrote down as the death ring. And
it is a death ring.
The bathroom. So Jamie.
Oof. No. Well, I kind of already talked
about it.
No, I did talk about it. Well, one, I mean, first of all, that was the ugliest guy dress. Like, how creepy
Robert
was
Joy?
that guy?
We almost got him.
Yeah.
We almost got him like 4 years ago, but yeah.
Well, he looked horrifying. No, my thing again was the fact that she was so. I mean, her face was smashed hard into that mirror.
Yeah.
And she only walked away with little scratches that she thought were the worst things. So I already discussed that earlier. So that was like my main thing. But like, I don't know. First of all,
no one else used the bathroom at this restaurant.
I was saying no one used the bathroom, but no one noticed the guy wearing a dress. I mean, like back then, it wasn't that common. He looked nothing like a girl. Like so, like if that was his disguise, just to walk around like that, kind of made no sense because he looked nothing like a girl. He just looked like literally looked like a killer, like a psycho killer in a dress. That's the kind of face he had.
Yeah, and then when we cut from like at the table, and she's like, "Oh, I have to use the bathroom," and then Tommy's there and looking over at Paul, and then when she's in there, and then Robert Joy walks in, like there's like that initial like struggle, and then when they cut back, she's hands tied behind her back, and he has the line, "Look at that beautiful face," and I have to take it away.
Wait,
it looks
no
like
one heard the screaming.
It looks like he taped her mouth shut with a Band-Aid.
Yeah, it did. That was kind of creepy looking, But, okay, so Paul, before she even goes to the bathroom, the fact that they know Tommy's there, first of all, coincidence that Tommy's at the same exact restaurant as Paul, the same time he's going to propose to her. But that should have been the red flag right there for Bronson. Say, all right, you know what? Your ex is right here who's a psychopath. He's watching me with you. I probably should not do this. Because I know what's gonna happen. Like the end result, like you said, it's the death ring. Like at that point, he knew she's not making it. So
she was in there for a long time. Like, woof. What was she doing?
Maybe she had to take a dump. It's a bathroom. Maybe she had to take a dump.
He's like,
listen, if you're gonna, that's one of the first things you got to break when you get, engaged. Farting in front of your fiance.
She had to,
knowing.
She had to get the bolognese sauce.
That's
damn it.
You know what threw me off though? When she saw O'Shea, and like whatever she did to spill her drink or something, to me it looked like she was creating a distraction to go do something. It didn't seem like
it didn't seem like a real accident.
To go like confront him or something, and this was like an excuse to do it. So that threw me off. But then she went to the bathroom and she was attacked, and then it turned out to be nothing. But I thought she was doing something to go.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the way it happened, it definitely seemed more on purpose than accidental.
Yeah,
I do appreciate in this one though there was no rape. I was just happy there was no rape in this one.
I was like, all right, good. That too.
Yeah, why there's rape in all the other ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty. Yeah.
Wait, all four of them?
Usually we see
all
the
four
movies in the rape scenes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So it's a double whammy.
Yeah.
All four of them have it. That is insane. That is
the woman in the parking garage.
Yeah.
His daughter.
His daughter,
right? Yeah, his daughter.
Yeah.
Daughter's wife in the first one. Yeah.
Maria.
Yeah. Okay.
Maria.
Bronson is the villain without a doubt in all these movies. I mean, what are the odds that it's happening to your daughter and your wife and two people that you're like close to
and
dating?
3 girlfriends.
Like,
one girl you only went on 2 dates with. The girl in Death was 3.
He's the problem. Without a doubt, he's a villain.
He's the problem.
He should like move to like Alaska and live by himself and just not be around anybody.
You know, one thing I hated at this point, obviously it's not one of those movies like Andrew dubbed the 4th one, The Thinking Man Death Wish. Like this one, like not like I needed to be like in the dark about things, but I knew one of those guys were crooked. The DA
Rubinek
and Vasquez, because right away, because Freddy Flakes is line, which I love that name, Freddy Flakes.
Freddy Flakes.
He's a contract killer with dandruff. That's his thing. Is that his calling card? Do they like look for friggin' dandruff at the crime scene?
This damn dermatologist. Oh, I need
Did
some
they
milk.
mention his name earlier? Because I only recognize his name in the newspaper. The newspaper was the first time.
No, they say
I
say
think so.
his name's like Freddie Garrity or something. They're like, but he's Freddy Flakes because he's got a bad case of dandruff.
You know
Yeah, they
what?
showed him
I
scratching
totally
his head.
missed that. I thought the thing was Freddy Flakes because he was like in fire and like ashes, like he like the Freddy Flakes in the. Like, I thought it was a pun on his death. I didn't realize that was his name.
The cop that got hit by the Oldsmobile, I think, is the one that says it.
Oh yeah, she does. Yeah.
She's the one that says it.
No, but it just stinks at that point. You're like, oh, I know one of these guys have to be the one that is crooked. There's only Bronson talked to 2 people, and then the next scene, like this happens again. Not like it changes anything. I'm like, all right, well, we know one of these guys is crooked, and we find out pretty quick. Like I think it's like 2 scenes later, we see Vasquez go, and I'm like, really? I was hoping for like an end scene with both those guys, and then one turns
And you
on
get
the
pick
other
which
one.
one.
Nah.
Yeah, it looked like he wasn't even trying to hide, that he was crooked. Like it was like again, it definitely stood out. But has there been a crooked cop in all the other Death Wishes also?
Was it Ed?
There's no crooked
Ed
cop in the
Lauder
fourth
is
one.
Ed Lauder. You think is crooked, but he turns out to be a hero.
Okay.
I owe you one, dude. Yeah.
Get out of here,
Love
Kersey.
Ed Lauder. He's great.
Okay.
But then, so we get to Bronson's house. So he always dates these girls, but I guess he keeps a different place. Where that house is, I don't know where that is in New York. Because the other one's like,
well, that's upstate. Clearly, it's like in the Catskills. It's like in the middle of nowhere. Okay. So he's got 2 massive houses, and he's a professor.
That's his Wayne Manor, and then his Batcave.
And we're talking about New York, which is pretty expensive. So I mean, like, there's no way. Like, he must be like all the people he kills. He probably like picks their pocket and takes whatever money they have on him.
Yeah,
like that's part of what he does, without a doubt.
And he has a nanny. He has a freaking lady that lives there because he's not there all the
oh
time.
my God, his housekeeper is so funny.
Oh, I know,
Professor.
What is it?
Why does she call him Professor? Like he doesn't give her his name?
Oh, I know. Well, maybe
she
okay. Really? So you're gonna use the name at your job? She can't have his real name? Like,
just call me accountant. No first name, no last.
That's his Alfred. Like he's.
Oh man,
that is his Alfred. That'd be great if they had a little duo shooting out bad guys at the end. Them 2 as a team.
They're like tossing each other like magazines and stuff. And that'd be awesome. That'd be sick.
Yeah, she knows where all the hidden guns are, and she's like, like, hey, which ones you want today?
Yeah. Oh my God. And this one, Bronson gets his gun for the first time, and he's holding it. And we get like pretty much a recap of the first 20 minutes of the movie, just audio. We hear the audio sound of, oh yeah, he didn't really hurt me, and you hear like all the different scenes.
The first of a couple,
and like all that.
The first of a couple of those things.
We get a bunch of those. Yeah, because they like think the people that watch this movie are nodding off, so they can wake up and be like, "Oh,
just in case you missed it."
We're gonna do another recap.
On the last episode of Death Wish, previously on.
God, and then we get a really rough scene, dude. The next scene with Albert and the other guy, like, oh my God, dude, the security guard. That is like like crazy. I can't.
Why are they back at work? Why is Albert back at work?
Why would you go back? Exactly.
He's dedicated.
Okay. Oh, you can't. I mean, listen. One, he works in a death trap because there's multiple machines there that can kill you or torture you. He just got tortured, and he knows this is where the mafia keeps coming. I'm handing in my listen. I'm done. I'm not giving 2 weeks notice. I'm leaving. The fact that he's still there, that's insane. So you know what? It's his own fault.
Ooh, victim blaming, Jamie.
Just saying, he had the option to leave and he chose to stay.
He ran out of PTO.
What's funny about this?
I see one guy get carved with, at my job with a saw. I'm out of there.
And he got
I don't
carved
need
too.
to see
He
anymore.
got cut in his face. They put
I
a
know.
blade
I
to
know.
his face. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So like once that happens, I don't care if you're going back. That's on you.
And just think about this. So they, Freddy Flakes ruined her beautiful face because they thought she talked to the cops. And if you think about it, this scene with the security guard is the same.
She's a witness. She's a witness for a trial. That's why they're trying to stop her from
testifying.
That's
being a witness.
I thought when he got her tied up, he said, I know you've been talking to someone.
No, it's she. That's why the other cop is the lawyer, the guy from True Romance. He's the attorney.
Yeah, he's the DA.
He's the DA
because she's a witness for the case again to bring Tommy down.
Yeah. But I'm saying, he says you've been talking to someone, and then when they go to the security guard, he says we know you've been talking to somebody. So they're like all trying to find out. It's like, wouldn't Vasquez say like, "Oh, this is who is talking"? Do they? Because it's so dumb that they said that. Like, they know the security guard didn't talk to Vasquez, but they said, "Oh, I know you've been talking to somebody, and now we're gonna steam your head to death. We're gonna steam you."
They do. I mean, another Batman reference. They basically turned the guy into Two-Face.
Oh my god, dude. That was pretty good.
Poor Reggie.
Wow,
Reggie
he's dead. Reggie.
That's a rough way to go.
After effing up both his hands and then his face.
Yeah.
And then they shoot him.
They just shot him.
Well, you know what though? I'd rather, at that point, I'm glad they shot him because I mean, that's gotta hurt.
Point,
I mean, all that he's going through.
He's like, what am I? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What do I got to live for anyway? I'm steamed. I'm burnt.
I got no hands.
Thank you for steaming me out of my misery.
Again, these things seem way too hot and acidy for people to work on. I mean, it's really like, it seems over the top.
Jamie, they're making chainmail.
That is true. I forgot about that. So yeah, you
you
got to have like that hot. Was it forging when they're making like they're using like the I'm surprised we didn't see an anvil back there. Then so they could smack the chain.
I think their main client is medieval times.
Listen, there was a guy. Were you there for Jason at True Green?
Yep, I knew you were gonna say that. Yeah,
the guy we used to work with, one of the salesmen, he used to make chainmail at his house.
And he had a business.
He literally, yeah. I guess chainmail is a hot thing that people are ordering from him. Chainmail, like
it's making a comeback.
Well, you saw that. You saw that show, right? You saw the fashion show. It was a hot thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
All the guys were going crazy.
It was basically a strip club. That was a strip club.
It was, yeah. It was a go-go bar.
Turn the lights down a little bit. Go to 5 and put some, come to the stage.
Yeah, but to be honest with you, I would not want to go to that. I mean, that's a freaky strip show if you're going to go there. Like with all those chainmails.
It's a very
outfits. Dude, that's weird. Right? Kids there, old guy. There's a senior citizen, 15-year-old. Like Bronson's 60 years older than her.
I thought you were going to say he's 60. He's got to be 70, what, 75?
He's 75. Yeah, I think he's
75 in this one.
Man, that's insane.
Well, he turned 100 when we did the reunion, which was 2021. So he'd be 103 this November.
Wow.
So whenever this came out.
Okay, Doug showing off his accounting skills. Okay, we get it. You're good at math.
Oh, yeah. So now you see 70, 74, 70, 72, 74 around that. But yeah, so and then at the same time as the security guard is dead, Albert, like this guy has been through so much, and they somehow convince him to wear a pen wire thing that looks like, and that was crazy too. Like when Sal is going to grab the pen, let me grab one of those pens. And
you could tell, like he knew. He's like, I know what the one is, so I'm just gonna grab the actual pen.
That's why he didn't grab. That's why he didn't grab it. But yeah, I mean, like that pen. The fact, first of all, I get it. People have pens in their pocket. Who has 2 pens in their pocket? You really like. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen anyone with 2 pens in their pocket.
Well, a black pen and a blue pen.
More than 2, you need a pocket protector.
Pocket protector, yeah.
You can't use a pocket protector for one.
Or a fanny pack.
Not one. Or a fanny pack, maybe.
Okay. All right. I never had a pocket protector, so I don't know. I thought one would do it.
But if
Hey, And
you're
the fact that
made-
you have this one really nice pen, and then you got the 99-cent
You
pen
got the
right next to
Bic.
it.
Yeah, you got the
Like,
Bic right
so-
next to it.
So again, if you're going to have a pocket protector and you're going to showcase your pens, you're going to have two nice pens. You're not going to have the cheap one and the good one, because who's going to grab
You
the
gotta
cheap one
upgrade it.
besides?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's gotta be a
Besides Sal.
0.05 a millimeter, one of those good ones. But
Yeah,
the fact
okay.
that like he knows he's made, right? He knows the cop knows. He says like shit, and it's like, all right. But why would you go down an alleyway? I would be in front of I'd go into a restaurant or a store.
I would walk in
or like
at
anything.
I would be like, "Where's Times Square right now? I need to be in Times Square, and
I
I,
know,
will
dude.
feel safe." Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And then Freddy Flakes.
You got yeah. But all around that same time, and then Bronson is following them at the same time. So he's there. Now we see the other detective that I didn't even think. Oh well, the other guy was in LA anyway, but he had the same vibe. Old white guy, old super white cop, old man. Like he's like, hey, what are you doing here? But dude, that stunt scene, holy shit, man.
Yeah, that was
Albert
okay.
flying was
Wait
great.
a second. Okay,
But
but
then her getting hit by the
I
car.
could be wrong, but it looked like the stunt double had a mustache.
Oh
Probably,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, dude.
Okay, I mean, so like the guy went flying a cool stunt, but I really do feel like the stunt double did not match the actor.
There were so many of
flying
those
through.
where if you like pause it, you're like,
Oh.
"Oh my god." It's not
Leslie
even
Ann
close.
Down was the guy jumping off the roof.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I wrote that down too, without a doubt. Like yeah.
They got Freddy Flakes to
Like,
just
no. Ridiculous.
Oh my gosh.
But it looked good because it looked like obviously it could have been like really skinny actor with like a belly,
Yep.
but it like looked good flying through the window.
Mm.
And then just when she got hit, that looks
Okay,
like
so let
it's
me-
too dangerous to do. Like that looked really scary.
Do you think, he's not a small guy. Do you think you're going to go flying? Like, was the car going that fast to make him
I don't
go
think
that
an Oldsmobile.
far?
I think an Oldsmobile, well, like my old Pontiac Safari 6000, that car. It only showed up to 85. I bet you this car was the same. It only showed it could go only 85.
And it wasn't like he was like really far away. So like, I mean, my guess is like if he hit that, hit him, he would just basically like go under the car, or maybe go push a little bit. He wouldn't go
or the car would wrap
flying.
around him.
Right.
Oh,
What is he?
oh,
What is he,
poor Albert.
Superman?
Poor Albert.
But I mean, he went flying. I mean, like
Oh.
ridiculous.
Awful.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
But man, a lot of innocent people died so far in this movie. Typically, these movies, it's really. Oh, but well, I guess besides the third one, the fourth one didn't have a lot of like Bronson girlfriends dying. This one has a lot. Like Leslie Ann Down's not even dead yet, and you have Albert, you have the security guard. Well, I guess that's it so far. But like, that's
And
a lot
Bronson
more
hasn't
than
killed
usual.
any of them,
No.
and
He
none of them are
hasn't
dead. What? Okay.
Nobody dead yet. But Bronson's pissed. He's disappointed.
And this is when the cop. This is the cop. He talks to the cop now, right? And the guy's like,
Yeah.
"I've been." So okay, so the police force has been trying to get these guys for 16 years,
That's what
and they
got him
haven't been-
disgusted.
and they haven't been able to do anything. And Bronson does it in what, in 2 days?
Yeah.
He's got a gift.
2 days.
He's got a gift.
Okay. I
Well,
mean, he's
what do
not
you
even
do?
a professional.
What did he do after it? After the
After
guy
what?
said 16 years and he looked disappointed, we got a Rocky training montage. It was like
Oh, yeah.
Rocky
It's
4
like,
for like
oh.
5 seconds.
Oh man.
Because that's when
Yeah,
they take away the
okay.
girl. Somehow, in some, like, I know movies are movies, but you're telling me that after a guy is accused of murder, like having somebody like try to kill his ex, they give the kid up? Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, again, the kid in the movie. I
Well, he
mean,
did kill the ex. That's when that happened. Yeah. So,
Mm.
yeah.
no, I know that, but I mean, still, like that wouldn't have happened. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Oh, I know. And it's just crazy because he trains
Yeah.
here. This is when he does his first training montage. And then later is when he's training, and then the cops show up when he's like, running.
Training, Bronson training.
He still got some speed. He looked good running through the woods.
Yeah.
No?
Oh my gosh.
But Bronson knows somebody's onto him because when he calls and says she's not going to testify, he just says that to the DA is kind of disappointed. he like hears something, so he knows. And Vasquez later in the movie screws it up too because he's listening on the other line and then hangs up.
No,
So
he
a lot of
knew.
missteps
He
with
knew
that.
already. It was his plan for her to say that because he knew someone was listening.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh no,
he was
that's what I
like-
mean. He knew. That's what I'm saying.
okay, okay.
I'm saying
I
Vasquez
got
is so bad that
Gotcha.
Bronson knew and the DA knew later in the movie.
Why
So
are
he
you
doesn't have to
shocked?
listen to
It's
phone
16
calls.
years they've been working on this. They haven't done anything.
That's true.
I mean, clearly they're running the town. So for 16 years, what have they been doing? Like, have they done anything? Because he acted like it's almost impossible to get these guys. We've been working on it for 16 years.
Meanwhile, they're
What
out.
have they done?
They're out in the open. They literally in the storefront. Chicky and Sal like just taking the money out of the cash register, right in the front of the window.
They don't do like a stakeout or anything ever. They don't follow these guys. Like, what have they done for 16 years? Like, to say that, it's almost like they're part of the the team and they're just letting things go because
probably
they're doing, like you said, they're doing everything in the open. So it doesn't seem like it's that hard to catch them doing something illegal.
Yeah, Bronson did in minutes. He saw, they're doing that. We can go get them right now. No.
What's the time frame from him talking to the cop at 16 years and the end? It's got to be a day.
Oh,
maybe a day, 2 days.
Well, no, more than that because she died. No, we get a couple of funerals. So funerals are usually 3-4 days after the death.
So 3 days.
So
And plus,
maybe we're like a
he
week.
did a montage and then he ran also for probably like 10 minutes. Okay.
But the scene when the DA and Hector show up, and then that's when, Paul says, "Oh yeah, we are gonna testify," and he's like, "Oh, this is good. Okay, great. All right, fine." Oh no, that's when they're having dinner, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is this when the DA and Bronson shows up randomly at the house?
Yeah,
he doesn't want to come in, and
he's
that's
like,
when he
he's
says,
like,
"Yeah, we're
oh
gonna
no,
testify."
You're not trying to set me up with someone again, are you? Because like I don't really want that. And then they're like, nope, it's Bronson.
Vasquez, yeah.
Nope,
Bronson.
What was that guy? He looks so familiar.
Who?
Which
Vasquez?
guy?
Yeah.
He was
He was in the opening scene of Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park, yeah.
It was something else that he was in. I couldn't think. Like, I can't remember. Was he a cop in something else? Okay.
Maybe, but no. He plays. I can see him as a lawyer. He's in a bunch of if you look at his credits, he's in a ton. But
I mean, the fact that they keep setting him up. He's not the best looking guy. It sounded like he's very picky. And I'm thinking like, all right, you know what? This guy really
should lower the standards a little bit.
Yeah.
He looks like a Mexican version of the Critic. Remember the Critic with
John Lovitz?
Yeah.
Was it John Lovitz?
Well, I was thinking like a Dennis Franz kind of look. Like
yes,
to him. Like,
it could be Dennis Franz's cousin. That's a good.
Oh my god!
But I mean, like the fact that he sounds like he's picky. Like I'm like, lower your standards.
Yeah.
Well, Vasquez looks really different now. No, older, but he looks totally different. But he was in Sharp. Oh, he was in Sharp Object, Clear and Present Danger, Jurassic Park, Get Shorty.
Yeah, he's a big character actor. I mean, he's in all the. Okay.
But yeah, so then Bronson goes back home right away. They're like, "Oh, great, honey, we gotta get canceled dinner." And he tells Vasquez, "Okay, she's gonna testify," which obviously, then he's able to make a phone call because within seconds, that is when we get like Robert Joyce showing up with the two henchmen pretending to be cops. Man, holy shit, man!
Well, didn't you come with more guys? I mean, like again, they have all those guys in the church.
They have no one else.
They
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, and I wrote down 3-man gang. That's all it is because it's the three guys that do everything. And unless I'm wrong, did Bronson go into a secret door cabinet and go upstairs from there?
No,
because he was hiding.
I know.
He was hiding in the cabinet.
Yeah.
And then he was upstairs. So like, was there like, did he create some kind of secret door in there and they like had a little elevator to get up there or something? Or
it seemed like that. Maybe he had like a little pulley he could pull himself up. Andrew, how do you think he avoided all those shots?
Oh my gosh.
He was running in slow-mo, running in a straight hallway.
There were 2 machine guns and a shotgun.
Yeah.
Not one bullet hits him. Okay.
He's good. He's good like that.
He was just covering his head running.
He was. Again, 2 machine guns and a shotgun. You're not outrunning that. I don't care who you are, and he's 75 years old. He's not outrunning it. So
I can't believe that. But he's a great hide and seeker. He's top notch. The way he gets them to run in the house, they're like, "Well, go get him," and he's able to hide in a cabinet. Who has an empty cabinet in their house? Like, really? I don't have enough cabinets.
Well, it was a secret thing to get him upstairs. That's how he got upstairs. There's no way he snuck around.
He tells his wife, "Don't ever put anything in here. Brooms can go anywhere else. I need to hide."
You know what? Maybe it's like one of those bank things that where you put the bank tube in there and it shoots the money into the bank. So maybe he's like, he goes in there and shoots it right up.
It's like a dumb waiter or something. Yeah.
Like Willy Wonka, the tube that the fat kid gets in. I like it. I like how you know the name. Good. That's Augustus.
But these guys are the worst shots ever. They miss him so many times. So close. Upstairs, they're even closer, and they keep missing over and over.
But when they shoot the wife, though.
But Robert Joy, Robert Joy.
They're good. They're good at shooting women.
Okay. So the one guy thinks he sees Bronson in the room because it's a mirror.
Oh my God.
He doesn't realize that's a mirror. Like most mirrors have like a frame around it, or it's not just like a mirror just standing there. He doesn't realize that's a mirror. He thinks Bronson's really standing there.
And then he beats him with
dumb.
He beats him
How
up
do
with
you
a
ever
fern.
fall for that?
He beats him up with a fern.
But again, they didn't make him super powerful, which I kind of appreciate it. Like he didn't like try to fight him one-on-one. I know he's old, but sometimes in these movies they do that. They have people beat up people.
Leslie Nielsen's still doing it.
Yeah.
He did do a little John.
Still doing it.
He did kind of go John McClane on this one.
Oh my gosh, that's.
Oh my God, the soccer ball is the best. I personally appreciated that very much.
Oh my gosh.
Nikolai,
is that a thing? Like, okay, if you're a soccer guy,
that would be a thing.
Okay, I was gonna say, what's the point of a remote control soccer ball? Like,
it is cool. I love
just
the
to mess
idea
with
of
people.
it, but why would they make it?
The only thing I can think of, if it first of all, my guess is it doesn't feel like a real soccer ball. So like the guy picking it up, he should have realized it's not a real soccer ball. But if it felt like a real soccer ball,
no, and you should realize kids aren't playing at midnight.
Well, correct. But
damn kids,
the only
there
I
yet
can see it if you're gonna.
No, we're not.
Oh,
but you brought it up, so I needed to say this.
Okay.
So yeah, I can see if you kick it far and then you want to bring it back. That's the only reason for the remote soccer ball, But like, I don't think that soccer ball was for that purpose, and I don't think you can fill it with anything you want like dynamite. Like, so even if you're buying it at the store, I don't think it has a open latch, so you can just stuff things in.
Like a good like little zipper.
Put some C4 in there, and
I don't think so. Okay, all right. Anyway,
yes, the toy store guy.
Yeah, and a trigger device. Yeah, where do you get something like that? Because I don't think you could even buy that online today, let alone back then.
That's why KB Toys went out of business.
No, I'm not even talking about the soccer ball. I'm talking about like a triggered dynamite. Like you can't get like where's he getting that from?
It's like it's like Acme or something.
The next level of that, not only are you getting that, you're telling me he has a remote. He can add to the remote control a trigger button because he used the remote control at the store, and it was the same one he had later. So there's a button that says, "Hey, whatever you want to add to it."
You're right. You're right.
Only a soccer ball that rolls.
It's a trigger.
Ridiculous. So he MacGyvered it. That's all.
He did. Yeah,
he did MacGyver it.
Mm-hmm. All right.
But I love. Hey, who's this for? We'll get that. We'll get that in a little bit. So like. Andrew mentioned, like, perfect at shooting Leslie Ann down. She does like a jump off, another slow mo. They use a lot of slow mo in this one. She hits the ground. She's dead.
And he sees her fall. He sees her hit the ground.
I know.
He does. Okay. Doug, I have a feeling you're going to say the same thing I'm about to say. So go ahead, say it. Because I thought the same thing.
Oh, when then somehow he goes upstairs really quick, which I don't understand.
Correct.
And then he jumps off the roof, and it's a lot younger man.
It is, but if you're in that situation, are you gonna dive head first like you're diving into a pool off a building? Like you would jump feet first and hope that the worst case scenario you break your leg. He's diving head first over the wall on a second floor house, head first. No way anyone's doing that. Like why would you do that? Or like hang on the edge and like hang down a little bit and then like slide down. Like Yeah. No.
Yeah, but
Head first.
why is there garbage bags? They're in a very swanky neighborhood like that. Those are nice, probably millions upon millions of dollars, like townhomes. Why is there? It's not even like he landed in a dumpster. It was just a bunch of garbage bags in piles.
I'll tell you why. Obviously, he knew that he's gonna have to dive over that. He planted those there. They're probably cushions or something, because that's the only excuse of why he would dive over head first, knowing he's gonna land on the soft cushions. So he's probably like waited for the day for him to have to do that.
He took all of her clothes.
That's it.
Hey, you never know. If bad guys come here, we gotta escape.
That's it.
Where are we gonna swan dive?
And again, if he has that down and he knows it, you jump feet first. You're gonna probably land on your ass and you're gonna be okay. Head first. What if he missed? Like, what if he missed, like, head first, he missed the pile, and he landed right in the driveway?
Oh,
Head first. Like, I was amazed when he did that. I'm sorry.
Ballsy. And then the guys run right away because the cops show up in seconds, which I guess that makes sense because they're gunshots. I hope the neighbors call. It's not like they were up. I can understand if they had a shootout. So I'm just kind of shocked they didn't do that up at his place because it was very secluded. Like, that would have been a scene like, oh, it's really Bronson. Nobody can really save him in that scene. And this, the cop showed up. But when he gets off, dude, this is how, again, that's his character's an asshole. But when she's like, what are you going to do now? And he's like, I don't know, maybe fishing. It's like, come on, dude. Your ex, your daughter's mom is dead.
He's like, I need a vacation.
Jokes on the news.
And the daughter seems fine. She seems fine. Yeah.
Everyone seemed fine.
Right? So
she's scarred. She's scarred.
Well,
what she wears
Bronson's used to it by now. This is like, Bronson's like, oh, another one. Oh, whatever.
Yeah, this is part for the course.
Move to the next one.
Yeah.
I mean, after the first 4, you're like, all right, you're kind of numb to it. Like, all right, it's going to happen, so I'm okay.
She survived at least. The daughters of the girlfriends don't have a good chance for the most part, and his own daughter.
Yeah, true.
Because in the 4th one, the girl from Vacation, she OD'd.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so this is a scene that I skipped over a little bit earlier. Bronson's pissed off. He's really pissed off. He kicks the guards out. He tells Saul, like, hey, get out of here. They leave, and he goes for a run, and then that's when he comes back, and the cops are there to take Chelsea to live with Tommy.
Doesn't he punch someone?
He swings
he punches,
at it, and then
he punches Tommy in the face.
Yes.
And
okay.
then he gets
You're right.
a branch to the back. Like,
wait, I think it was a log. It was like a piece of firewood or something.
Yeah. But Tommy said to his, I guess the other guy, he goes, "Wow, that guy's quick."
Yeah.
He's not quick. I mean, if he thinks that's quick, Tommy's a wimp. Really?
He telegraphed that punch so bad.
Oh, that guy's quick. He said, "Unbelievable."
Yeah.
Okay.
So how many times do you think Chicky has seen Paul? Which is kind of silly because Paul seems like they've been together long enough that he can propose, right? So, but Tommy calls him a geek, like he never saw him. Like, hey, who's that geek? It's like, oh, that's he's probably been to the fashion show or there a bunch of times. So Chicky must know him and his build. How does he have no idea that he's in the restaurant? I don't care if a newspaper's in front of somebody. Like,
because he was so focused on getting a cannoli because he had one earlier in the movie.
He loved them cannolis.
He was eating a cannoli, and so I think. Yeah, right. And the way he eats it, so like he's clearly just focused on cannoli. Like he doesn't care about anything else.
They were so good. He loved them. They were his favorites.
This is the second cannoli movie besides Van Wilder.
Oh, I was going to say Godfather too.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah.
Is there cyanide laced?
No, but he takes the gun. He leave the cannoli. What do you say? Take the gun. Take the gun.
Leave the gun. Take the cannoli.
Leave the gun. Take the cannoli. Yeah. Very famous line. Yeah.
No, I love that Bronson kid. Like, be so nimble with the newspaper. The other guy's not looking. He walks over. He sprinkles. Nobody else in that restaurant.
No one sees.
Hey, because Sal makes that comment. Hey, at least, or is it Sal? Isn't there for a second or no? Or is it Chicky that says,
No,
hey,
he's
look,
no,
you got
Chicky,
one in
Chicky says it. Yeah, Chicky says it.
Oh,
Sal's in there too, though.
Sal wasn't there. Oh
Yeah,
no, you're right.
he was behind
He's
the
in there, and
counter.
then he walked out. Then
Yeah.
he walked out. Yeah, then he walked out.
And
Yeah.
Chicky stayed behind for his favorite cannolis.
I love these cannolis. Oh, if you eat that many of those cannolis, you're going to turn into a blimp. And he goes, I'd be a happy blimp.
I mean, he's pretty
And
fat
then-
as it is, so he's already up there. So
Then he dies. And then
But-
Bronson
this-
in a
this is
very
pretty gross, though.
rarity, yeah.
That's the best.
the way he was
Oh,
choking
yeah.
on, yeah.
No, that's the best. When she's like, help, help. And she looks dead at Bronson. And Bronson's just sitting there reading his newspaper. He's like,
Angela Lansbury.
You got a problem?
Yeah. And casually.
Oh wait, the cop didn't see him casually walk out. He literally
Yeah.
crossed paths with the
the
cannoli
headline.
keeper.
The headline.
But he walks out like so. She's freaking out and he walks out as the cops walking in. Like they don't even question. Hey, don't leave, don't leave. Yeah.
God, that is
Ridiculous.
amazing. The way he walks out, he's like, I just did something.
And what did he put on there that it worked that fast?
It was
Because
cyanide.
there's literally one bite.
Cyanide.
Was it? Oh, it
Mhm.
was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
they
what
said
it says
it-
the week.
they
Freddy
say it-
Flakes is like,
Okay.
oh.
Because I'm like, what the
Well,
hell did
you
he
know
put
what?
on
In
there?
chicken-
It looked like powdered sugar. I was like, oh, did he put powdered
It
sugar
did-
on it? Or like,
that's what it looked like. Yeah. But you know what? In Chicky's defense, he died doing what he loved, eating cannolis. That's just, I mean, so there's better way, you know.
the only thing that would have made it better is if he had a lollipop in his mouth at the same time.
Oh my gosh.
What a way to go.
That's how he should have died, though. He should have choked on his lollipop.
Could've been a
Bronson
good one.
punch him in the mouth and it like slides down his throat as he's see that. There you go. All right.
I should write this
That'd
movie.
be nice. So Freddy Flakes is the one who mentions like at the funeral, hey, you got to be careful. Man, cyanide. Who do you think it is? They're like, hey, the families. What do you mean we're vacationing together? We're fine. To make it seem like that was the only reason I thought it was the mafia. Like when he said that. But then you have the weird thing about like Freddy Flakes talking about his like
Oh, my
fortress
gosh.
that he lives in.
Yeah,
the whole Freddy Flakes thing.
The
is-
womb. Tommy refers to it as he's in
Yes.
the womb. And it's like, what?
Well, no, he tells him it's like being in the womb, and then Tommy repeats that line later. But it's like, oh no, that's what Freddy said. Like Freddy actually said that. It makes me feel safe and secure. Like, oh my god.
Well, he's a weirdo to begin with.
He's a weird guy.
Yeah,
I
he's
mean,
a quirky
he looks
villain.
like
he has to have that thing. Yeah.
He reminded me of the guy from Kids in the Hall, with the big hair, like the kind of
Oh.
like
Oh,
the
yeah,
poofy-
yeah.
yeah.
He kind of
Yeah, I
because
know
his hair was ridiculous before he
Yeah.
put before she started creaming his hair, whatever. He looked ridiculous. He looked like Buster Poindexter.
He did.
That's what.
He did manage. I mean, I don't know. He must have a great personality or something because she was pretty good looking.
Oh, she was so hot.
Yeah. And
And the bathtub scene. I wonder how many times they filmed that scene.
Oh, I know.
well, you know, he probably kept screwing up on purpose.
Yeah.
Oh, we got to do it
We gotta
again.
do it again.
Sorry, I forgot my line. Yeah.
Oh, let me lean back a little bit.
Yeah, that's such.
and you notice like they're both in a tub, but she's in the tub just enough where her breast is sticking out. Like, you know, like easily she could have been down, but they had to make sure just enough that she's sitting right on top of the water.
Great direction. That's great direction. All right, a little up, a little to the left. Okay, we're rolling.
we got it.
Oh.
So just think about the things that Chelsea has to witness in this movie. This is when the chainmail show is happening, but
Yep.
she's waiting outside of like her mom's old office, and Tommy's
Paper
like,
thin walls.
With pictures of her
assaulting
dead
a
mother
woman.
all around her.
Well,
I know.
assaulting and having sex with the woman, and this girl.
Well, they
is
didn't have
No,
sex.
they
You
didn't
know
have
why?
sex because he couldn't get it up.
Did you hear? Yeah,
okay,
that was
they were
the whole
trying.
thing.
I mean, so she was here.
No,
okay,
I know,
so-
but I'm saying he hit her because
Yeah, yes.
he couldn't get aroused.
Correct.
That's like
she's
a
like,
you
she's like,
problem,
nothing's
bro.
happening again, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna...
that is a you problem. That is a you problem.
She was super attractive too. It was so weird that she was with him. Like I thought she was a model in that opening scene, but then she was just like maybe she used to be, and then he was like, "Hey, we gotta get out of here." It's like okay. And the fact that she had to hear that,
I know.
the daughter had to hear like,
well, you wonder why she hates him. I mean,
Yeah.
he beats on his mom. He does all these things. Yeah, I mean, he's an awful guy. For a parent.
She's gonna make a therapist very rich one day.
Yeah.
Or she's gonna turn into a killer herself.
Or yeah, that's the Death Wish
6.
the new vigilante, and it's Chelsea.
That'd be good.
Yeah,
she kind of reminded me just a look, and I kept saying it to my brother who I watched the movie with, Anna Taylor-Joy. I was like, "Is it Anna Taylor-Joy?"
Oh,
But-
she kind of looks like her. Yeah.
But listen,
she give me Death Wish 6, right?
I'll get work on the spinoff. Yeah, see if she's up for
Let's do it.
make sure you throw in a lollipop kill in that one. So
You gotta.
It'll
Bronson
be
punch. Oh, not Bronson.
Jacqueline or Pauline Kersey. There you go.
Pauline Kersey. That is awesome. I like it. Let's do it. So then at this point, this is when Vasquez, like, I guess scares the shit out of these guys because he meets with them for the first time, even though we knew it was him, like for the last like 30 minutes of the movie. But when they go, this Paul Kersey guy, you gotta watch out for him. Paul Kersey, I don't know that. You don't remember that name? He's gonna be going down the list. And they're like, not. I would think they'd be a little worried if they said like, "Hey, this guy's like murdered like 200 people." I'd be like, "All right, maybe we should like really figure something out." No, not really. They seem to be going about their business the whole up until I think maybe when Freddy dies is when they start worrying, which they should have already worried. They were only a 4-man gang, and now they're down to 3, and then
No, they're only a 3-man gang.
oh yeah, well, yeah. I guess what's his name? Was
But
hired gun.
so is he considered a mass murderer? Because in each movie he kills a mass amount of people, right?
Yeah,
It's
he's a
not
mass
like, and it's
murderer.
all. So he's a mass murderer. Okay,
Yeah,
he's great at what
like
he
he
does.
kill.
he's like
he
Dexter.
kills the
He's
least.
an okay architect. Great.
He's like
murderer.
Dexter,
he's like
but
Dexter.
he kills the least amount of people in this movie, right? Compared to the other movies,
Yeah,
Oh, it's not even close.
not even close. Okay,
he doesn't even
Yeah,
get up
he
to
kills one-
double digits in this movie.
No.
No,
He comes
not even-
close.
I don't think he
It's
comes
like-
close, right?
I think I
Double
saw
no,
it.
because he.
I think I saw it said the total
7?
number was 12, but he only kills 7
Oh,
of those
really?
12. Yeah.
Okay.
7. I was thinking, yeah, he just kills all the mafia guys.
Although, yeah, the
Oh
bad
no,
guys.
and he doesn't kill the one guy, so no, maybe only 6.
Oh, that's right. You're right. Okay, all right. Oh, he's getting
Yeah,
slow at his
really.
old age.
Yeah,
He's getting.
he's
getting soft.
He's winding down.
Getting soft.
Oh.
No, Tommy's getting soft.
Yeah.
You can't get hard.
Oh no, he's always soft. He's always soft. And so when Bronson, we talked about him buying the soccer ball earlier. I love the line when the guy's like, "Ooh, birthday present." And he goes, "A treat for someone special."
So stupid.
But his
I-
house,
really.
So I was saying this to my wife, like, because she always like is sometimes watching, or she'll be like, "Oh, how was that movie?" So I was trying to tell her, I was like, "Man, obviously, like these movies are fun," but I always think it's so funny how they like miss on something that's written in the script. Like, for instance, he's supposed to be like, "Oh, this is the womb, the most secure house." Somebody could get him, shoot him outside of his house. There's slats in the fence. I would think he'd be like, have like a big fence you can't see through. No, Bronson's able to get a soccer ball over. Like,
and
it made no
his,
sense.
But his plan was, I want to get this guy outside, so I'm going to buy a remote control soccer ball.
And
Like,
my
why
question,
is that
good.
good? No, good.
No, I was gonna say my question is when the ball gets around the back of the house, how does he know where it's going? Because there's no camera on the thing.
I wrote that too.
and he's able to
I
go
said-
fully around the house and come out the other side.
Yeah, I said that. I wrote that same thing. I'm like, first of all, how far does that go? Because this is 1990 or whatever. There's no way it's gonna be that strong enough to go that far. But then how does he see where he's going? Not one tree, not one lounge chair, nothing is in the way, and not a pool. Like, yeah,
His
the
line,
house has a pool.
his
You know,
line though, his line though to Freddy though when he picks it up is just the best. It might be the best line of like any movie.
No, and the fact that again that kind of tricked us because why would we think like what happened? Do you think I'm gonna lure him outside and shoot him with my gun?
Yeah.
Wait a second.
I love that he's wearing his Kevlar.
Hey, Freddy,
I was gonna say.
I'm gonna take care of your dandruff problem.
Oh, look at his face. That's
You know what?
That's a crazy. That is a crazy stunt.
You know what? I wish you paused it right before it blew up. You can see the dummy's face. It looked like you can see the dummy's face. Oh, this is why you got the clip?
all right. I think you can. Oh, he's not gonna let me.
He kind of before this scene, he kind of looked a little bit like the guy from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Dennis.
Oh, he does kind of look like Dennis. Yeah.
Kind of like.
No, but okay. but you are right. Like when his face just before the explosion.
Yeah,
it looks
you see
like,
the dummy.
brain
It looks like
dead.
the same
looks
one
like
they
that-
used. It looks like the same one they used in part 3.
It looks like Trejo.
Yeah. But okay, so he was just in the bathtub, and somehow he's in full gear to come out. He literally took his time. Like he hears something outside, so let me get my shoes on, socks, pants. But the bulletproof, like he did all that in a matter of like seconds to go outside.
And he had all that shit in his hair, and his hair was completely like blow dried. Like what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot. It was like green, wasn't it? Stuff like whatever it was. It was.
She says it looks like the stuff that kills cockroaches or something. She makes a comment in the bathtub.
So he needed time. So he literally went to the bathroom. He blow dried his hair. He got it all out. Like all this time in a matter of 1 minute. He did all that.
Yep.
So okay.
He's got to make sure he looks good when he gets blown up by a Franklin soccer
Well, you
ball.
think about it. The ball went around the house, and he came out when it was right back on the driveway. So that time it took to go around the house and come to the driveway is how long it took him to get dressed out of the bathtub and blow dry his hair.
Yeah.
Somebody has Kevlar by the door to walk outside.
Well, I mean, you got to assume that, at some point someone's going to come to your house and try to shoot you. So I mean, I'm okay with that.
Don't hitmen, for the most part, kill do hitmen only kill people in other gangs? Or I would think they would.
Yeah, but is he really a hitman? He basically dresses a woman and beat up a woman. Yeah, I didn't see him do anything else.
Oh, Freddy Flakes.
And let's be honest.
We've only known him for 48 hours,
Okay.
man. He's got to.
Okay.
To work that much.
Because I'll tell you why. Because the minute that he saw Bronson and he did the switch, he screamed like a girl. You're right, he had like a high pitched scream. Yeah, like it definitely was not a tough guy scream. So I'm gonna say he does like the easy hitman stuff. Like they'll send the Chicky and the other one to do like the harder stuff.
Yeah.
And if they have to rough up like a 16-year-old or like a woman, then they send that
They
guy.
send Robert Joy,
They use Freddy for the flare kills. They were like, Freddy, we need you to add your little spice over here, all right? Just don't get your dandruff. Just don't get your dandruff all over the place. Use some Head and Shoulders.
So this is where I mentioned earlier, like how bad Vasquez is at like snooping. This is where Paul's on the phone with the DA. Vasquez is listening, and he kind of sets him up to, hey, I'm going to go to Olivia's house by myself. And this guy thinks, hey, I'm going to go solve this myself, just like in Death Wish 4, the cop, the dirty cop. So Bronson's like waiting for him and doesn't really hesitate. He shoots him.
Okay,
as soon as
but
he walks in.
But at the same time, why doesn't the cop kill him? Immediately
Right there.
sees him, knows this guy's a problem, knows that at this point he probably knows his history. Like, you're sneaking up on him, you could kill him right there and end it. No, let me talk. Let me say something first, and whatever. They do it all the time in movies. Like they like to wait and see what
that
happens.
one line.
Instead of,
They need to tell the other bad guys. Yes. So just before I shot him in the head,
yeah,
I said, hey.
I said, this is going to be easy. We forgot to mention the newspaper headline after Freddy dies, where it's like mobster
what was that
casualties. It's like mobster casualties 2 or something like that. It was I don't know. Freddy Flakes flies or something.
No, I love
fries
that.
or...
I love
no,
yeah.
it was Flakes fly, Freddy blown away. That's
And that's on the front page
yeah.
of the Post. What's the other thing that happened in the news that day?
And that's at this point, I didn't know that was his name. I just thought it was like Flakes. Like I had no idea.
Yeah.
Like it was so okay. I thought it was Freddy. I just thought it was Freddy.
Free Flakes.
Yeah.
And then after he kills the guy, like with a very sneaky gunshot, the DA shows up. And the DA, he's like, "Oh, what are you gonna do with me?" And the DA's like, "I was never here." And he just like puts his hands up
He knows,
and
he's
walks
like,
outside.
But what did he turn? Did he turn his head when he shot him, or did he just put the gun behind him and just shoot?
Oh,
He was
blind.
sitting-
He blind shot him.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's how
so
he-
He was sitting on the
Okay.
bed with the Raggedy Andy doll or Ann doll.
right, correct.
Yes.
But I didn't know he like if he didn't turn his head, he killed him one shot, but not even looking.
He's
Not
that
even
good,
looking.
man.
And it's not like an easy like if you try to put your arm around like your body, you can't really do it that well. So like the fact that he was able to do it with a perfect shot, amazing.
He's good. He had to practice.
But I gotta say, the funeral scene with the hitman, I loved
Oh
it.
my gosh.
So
Because
funny.
when you first saw the scene from like looking at like the casket to the door, there wasn't like a lot of people, but when they showed like the other shot, you just saw all the hitmen. I loved how they did it because it was all like they were paranoid. They all were sort of sitting by themselves, like but all
On
way
the
back.
aisle.
But when that kid runs in with the note and they all friggin' point guns at him, oh my god.
Well, it looked like the priest has seen all this before because he first of all he kept calling them my children. My children, put your
Yes.
guns away. My children, this like he said, my children to these grown men multiple times. My children, and like again, he didn't even seem phased when he pulled out the gun. So
No,
this
not
must
at
be
all.
like a weekly thing. Like
He knows.
anytime anyone else comes in, they're pulling out the guns. So imagine like going to church on Sunday. All these guys are already there, and everyone who shows up late, every time they turn around with the guns pointing at them.
Oh. Sorry, my alarm didn't go off. Oh, I almost shot you. Put $20 in the. Put 20
You see the
bucks
old
in
lady in the walker. They're turning around. They're bringing out the guns. You know. Like, oh man.
Oh my god.
But man, when they point the gun, and I love the fact that this sounds like evil Kersey is at his core. I don't know how he got it there because he's an old man. Dead bodies weigh a lot. The fact that he took Vasquez's body, put him in like an old timey crate, like a crate that you'd seen like I don't even know what gets shipped in crates
Roadrunner?
like that.
Roadrunner crates.
Look like the Ark of the Covenant
Acme
crate.
products.
Yeah.
Yes. But they open it up and Vasquez's dead body falls out. The guy looks at it. Sal goes, put it back in, ship it to Jersey. How's he shipping that to Jersey?
Yeah. I was like, you keep that in New York. I
Is
don't
he
want, we
calling
don't want that.
FedEx?
You know, you make a good point though. I don't have there ever been a time when they would ship things in crates where you have to use a crowbar to open the top lid? Because those are the crates in every movie. Like you see those crates,
Yeah.
and you need a crowbar to take the top lid off.
The leg
Like,
the leg lamp in Christmas Story.
Yeah.
Everything.
Crowbars.
Fragile.
What if you don't have a crowbar? You have to. So if I buy something that's coming in a crate, I gotta go pick up a crowbar too.
You need a
need
crowbar.
a crowbar.
One. It should
Well,
come with
you know
like
what,
an
though?
Allen key.
It probably does. So it's like attached. It's like taped to the
On the
side,
side,
of the
yeah.
crate, and then
That's good customer service. I'd appreciate that.
Imagine being the delivery guy that has to deliver these heavy wooden crates to everybody's house. Like I don't think Amazon could do it.
And it smells really bad. Like I don't know what
That's,
Yeah. Ship to Jersey and spray paint.
I really want to know if that was ever a thing, though. I just got to ask
Yeah,
some
they
like
always have
old
that.
timey person.
In shipping containers.
Always.
In shipping
Always.
containers.
And it
There's
has
always,
tons of those
time.
those crackly
those
things that they
popcorn
go in there.
the popcorns, yeah.
Popcorn things always loaded in there, and you have like one object that's in there that's like half the size of the box, but it's filled with all the popcorn in there. And yeah, okay.
Beverly Hills Cop, I think of with the coffee when they're shipping the cocaine and the coffee,
Yes.
right? In that opening scene, yeah.
Yeah.
They had to create. You had to use a crowbar.
And then you have to put it back in. Then you got to get a hammer. When you're like, oh, I got to send this back. You're gonna buy a hammer.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you
Hammer
have to
some
send it back,
nails.
you need a hammer and nails. Yeah. Well, that's on the other side of the box. So you have the crowbar in one box, and you have the nails on the other side.
It's a pretty good deal. I probably might order it, and then do I have to send back the crowbar? Or do I get to keep that? Is that like a part? Is that like Bezos' head on it?
That's right. It's so ridiculous. Someone has to ask an old person if they've ever received anything that you needed a crowbar to
Hey,
open up.
you! If you're old, I'm talking to you. If you're listening, tell us if you ever had to use a crowbar. No, not a cow bar, a crowbar. I think you got it.
What is a cow bar?
It's where the frisky cow. It's where Nick goes to pick up the women.
You know.
Whoa.
You know what's funny? When I was saying that, I was thinking like animals, but I know cow.
I was
in
thinking
it.
animals too, but you had to go that
Oh
way.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's okay. So we're on the same page.
Is this more fat shaming?
That's where Albert hangs out. That's where Albert hangs out.
Sorry, Albert. Oh man! But the rest of the movie, they can't find this old man. They don't know where he is. And then Tommy, at this point, is he's willing to use his daughter as bait. And then how about how mean he is? Like I get it.
My gosh.
Like he died of cannoli, their friend, but they're pissed that they're an Irish Italian mafia gang. She brings cannoli. And he calls her the R word. I'm like,
yeah,
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
You
that
can't
was
get it up, and you're gonna like make fun.
Oh,
of
that's why he's always angry. That's why he's always angry.
I did a little research, and I saw that most of Michael Parks's lines were improvised. So,
I love that.
Pretty much all of his lines were him. Oof. Yeah, that was good. And then, but he's got a good arm though. He was chucking those cannolis.
So he chose to use the N-word.
I was going to say
he chose to use the N-word.
So imagine that. Oh my gosh.
He was dedicated to the character apparently.
But yeah, that cannoli went flying. I mean, like that was a far toss and almost hit her when she was at the top of the stairs.
He was chucking those things. Yeah.
So,
oh my god, he was an asshole.
So what? He's never gonna eat a cannoli again. I mean, grow up.
So the next scene. So this is where they're setting. They're gonna do like, hey, we're gonna do this whole drop off. We're gonna use Chelsea as bait. Now, do you think when they're driving and Bronson's following Sal, was that a mistake in the car?
With the
was that
bullets?
a stunt driver making a mistake? No, when he dropped the gun in his lap and he swerved into traffic and it caused all the
bullets.
cars to turn.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but was that bizarre? Because
it was weird.
Stopped Bronson a little bit because of the traffic, but I'm like, that didn't look right.
No. I mean, he just showed you he's so clumsy and scared that I think that's what it was.
Pills.
That
he was scared.
But listen, Bronson might be good at a lot of things. He's not good at tailing because that guy knew within seconds that Bronson was tailing him because he called right away. So that was he literally was like right behind him. Like it was like the worst tail job. Yeah. And then at the end, he's not even nowhere in sight. So how do you know where he went? Because he went like the car parked and Bronson knew to turn on that street.
He's good.
Yeah.
He's good.
Okay. Man.
Oh my god, man! And then we get the bad guy with the voice. So
what is that?
Three terrible henchmen.
Yeah, I don't know what he was
that
going
voice
for.
though. I would love to see what other movie he's in and hear his voice. Like if that's really his voice, because that was bizarre. Like it was really weird.
I couldn't even.
You can't
imitate it. It was so weird.
You can't.
Yeah, it was weird.
There's no way that was his real voice.
Mm.
I gotta look him up after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then,
So anyway, so they get there. We have Tommy gives the dumb henchman, and I love when they get into the room, like which is like Leslie Down's old office. He goes, "Hey guys, help yourselves!" And there's like a box of guns,
a toy box of guns. That's what it looked like.
So excited! Like, oh my God.
So this is what they had. They grabbed, let me see, 2 machine guns, 1 shotgun, and 3 and okay, they had 2 again, just like in the beginning of the movie. 2 machine guns and a shotgun. Not one hit with any of them.
The one guy had the gun that he used at the end of 4, where he killed John P. Ryan. He had like the assault rifle with like the grenade launcher or whatever.
Grenade launcher in the bottom, yeah.
Yeah.
He was in 4? That guy?
No, the gun
in the
was
4th
though.
movie. That was the gun that Bronson used on John P. Ryan at the end. But
when he blew him up.
But how
Bronson only has but Bronson's going there knowing that he's going to go after all these guys, and he goes with just a pistol. Like these guys came to his house with machine guns and shotguns, so he knows they have a lot of weapons. So he decides the only thing he's going to bring is a pistol.
You guys, listen. I'm going to give you guys
have some guns left over and be ready.
He's like, I'm gonna give you guys a head
clearly
start.
It worked, but
you guys can use all those automatics. I'll use my little Smith and Wesson over here, and
It's very Seagal-esque.
We'll see
Seagal puts the gun down. He gets on his knees, puts his hands behind his back. Like, hey, you know what, guys? You guys do whatever. I have a mannequin that I'm gonna put on a forklift. Dude, the forklift. That was the dumbest thing ever because the forklift was turning.
Yeah, it was turning.
So you're telling me
because
I thought he was
in it.
Forklift?
I thought he was in the forklift. Because like it was
Jamie. Logical people would know somebody must be driving a forklift that hits things and somehow redirect itself.
There's clearly shots where you could see somebody on the forklift like driving the thing, and I'm like,
oh, I know.
Oh
dude.
yeah, that's. Yeah.
I was waiting for the mannequin,
and he I guess the keys were just left there in the forklift.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Anybody can play around with them, but that guy, that deep voice guy, right? Because everybody's shooting him, and then the one guy uses the grenade launcher on him,
mm-hmm.
and then they're like, "Yeah!" and then it's all on fire, and the guy, "Yeah, he's history," and they start like actually like high fiving. But
they're
why
like
did
celebrating.
Bronson, when he sneaks up, he does the same thing as the other guy does, Vasquez. He waits so long. He gives them an opportunity to turn. He could have just went bam, bam, bam. But he waits till they turn, shoots the one guy, and then he gives them an opportunity to keep shooting him, but they keep missing.
And then he shoots the one guy into the electrified fence.
Oh, dude.
That was pretty badass.
Well, he also kicked the one guy 5 times in the ass as he was walking.
I did love that.
As he's walking, he kicked him in the 5 times.
Oh,
like 5.
It's funny though. Good.
If he did it once, it's funny. But the fact that he kept doing it, like that's
he must not have got along with that guy on
set. Did you have somebody say that to you? Like, hold this. And then you have to hold the saran wrap that you know that's going to wrap. That was pretty scary, dude. Like, I know that guy's obviously probably a stunt actor, or they're like, hey, we're going to make.
No, but it was wrapped around his face for a while. I mean, it was, yeah.
Not cool.
Yeah.
That was scary.
But you know what, though? It is pretty cool, though. I mean, the way he did that. I mean, but, again, it makes you think, like, all right, you're going to die by saran wrap. So why don't you try to at least attack this guy and maybe you have a chance? Because if you're going to be wrapped, I mean, and how do you explain that to people? Like, how did he die? He died by saran wrap.
Well, first, he was saran wrap, but then then Paul hung him on the. On the
how does that happen? How does that happen? Like, how do you get him up there?
But
what a way to go! Like Bronson was probably like, you know what? I'm gonna let a bad guy live for once. Guy's probably like hard up for money. Tommy called him off for a pretty penny, maybe some chainmail girl, and then boom, he's hanging on the thing, and then Sal gets so nervous and shoots him in the chest. Like,
was his mouth? Was there a hole in his mouth so he could breathe and talk?
He cut a hole. Yeah, he cut a hole in his mouth.
So he made a sound. There was definitely a sound. Okay,
but so why wasn't he yelling, "Hey, help me, help me"?
It's me.
Because he's like, where's Chelsea? He goes, yeah, she's in the big room. And I'm like, what's the big room? He knows what the big room is? I mean, they look like they were in a big room.
It is a big office, but like that's what you're going to call that room?
Well, it's a very big office because it takes Chelsea forever to even get anywhere when she's running around. Like, why wouldn't she look for an exit? There's got to be exit signs in that building and leave. Yeah. No, she's running around inside the building like,
Yeah.
She gets caught on the runway, right? Isn't that where she's on the runway at one point?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
But Bronson grabs the walkie-talkie and he says, "I'm coming for you, O'Shea."
That was a Rambo moment.
Yeah,
that was Rambo.
It was a very Rambo, but it's weird.
Yeah.
So at this point, like, so Bronson is already. I'm confused because doesn't Bronson go upstairs and Sal's downstairs, right? Bronson's looking for Chelsea and Tommy upstairs.
Yes. Correct. So
he just out of nowhere, because then they all converge all downstairs, and then he kicks Sal, right? Well, Sal goes into the other machine.
He shoots Sal through the
door. Right.
Oh yeah,
that's the garbage and happens to kill. Yeah, and happens to get him. Like again, his aim is amazing.
He gets turned into like beef stew.
And what they showed, I mean, like again,
chunks.
It's one thing to get shot, but to to get cut up like that and sprayed all over the place, like, ugh.
Yeah.
They bring that to his mom's house. Do you have a garbage can?
No, they put him in one of those crates, those big crates, and they hopefully.
Oh yeah, and it leaks through. It leaks through the cracks.
And then they ship him to Jersey.
Oh man, that's
you
why
guys
Jersey
didn't see
smells.
Halloween. You guys didn't see Halloween Ends, but I was going to make that reference. Anybody that's seen Halloween Ends, I wonder if David Gordon Green saw this movie, because that's how.
Are you going to do a spoiler alert? Because maybe a lot of people haven't seen it yet.
Just there's similarities between Death Wish 5 and Halloween Ends. That's all.
There's a meat grinder in Halloween Ends.
There's a grinder of something. Of sorts.
Okay.
But yeah, man, it's just like insane. The Tommy scene is so ridiculous because the cop that comes in knows Tommy is like this. He's been trying to get him for 16 years. Obviously, this guy's slippery. He's evil. He's a bad guy that you should be able to, hey, let's not look away from him. But no, again, they always give the bad guy that second opportunity. Like, why?
Yep. Well, because if they didn't, he wouldn't have a gruesome death like he had.
Yeah.
Right. So right. Which again, you see that in the beginning of the movie. You're just waiting to see who's ending up in there. But you knew at some point because after like when Tommy almost died, I'm thinking like they showed that acid thing and they're not even using it. Like I was surprised. But yeah, you knew that was gonna happen.
I did appreciate the
kicks him in the ass.
Well, yeah. Then they shoves the glass bottle in his face. The broken glass bottle.
Oh, that's right.
And he's like, "Look at that pretty face." He said something like, "Look at that pretty face" or something like that, or look at that face on you.
Yeah, so it was like a callback to Robert Joy, what Robert Joy said to Leslie Ann Down in the bathroom. So one thing Wait,
he has one line here though. Doesn't he? I don't need anything because he says, "I'll give you anything you want." He goes, "I don't need anything, but you need a bath."
Yeah, it looks
is that what he says before he
looks like you need a bath?
Okay. Yep. Okay.
He has some great one-liners before the deaths or after the deaths. He's got some good stuff.
Okay, and again, there's been a couple of deaths in this warehouse from machines. That gate is still wide open for the acid.
I know.
And again, you would like of all places that should be on lock. Like there should be like a padlock on there that only certain people have the code to get in there. No, it's still wide open even after people died down there.
Step over it. Even if it was locked, you'd step right over it. It wasn't that high up.
Okay.
Again, one thing I have to mention, obviously this is the end of the movie. I gotta say, like, I do love the way that, because they knew at this point that this was gonna be the last one. The way it ends is kind of like perfect. Maybe it would have been better if these movies all started like 10 years before and he was still able to be more spry and fight and have those scenes like you would have in like 3 and 4. But like the way that he looks at the cop, he goes, "What are you gonna do about me?" The cop just kind of like looks at him, right? And then he starts walking and he says, "If you ever need me, detective, give me a call." And then it's really cheaply the way they freeze frame it. I thought they were gonna let him walk out the door. It looked like so weird because he was like in mid-step. But I thought it was like a fitting ending to an important chapter of like Bronson's been in so much amazing stuff, like getting into being like an action star. Some great movies, like
Dirty Dozen,
Escape, Dirty Dozen,
like absolutely,
like so much great stuff. But for this series, it was cool to actually like put like a bow on it. As silly as the movie is, it is probably cool, maybe for him. Like, let me have my walk off to the sunset moment.
So let me ask you this: we're gonna assume that the girl is gonna be living with him, the little girl.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that a death sentence for her?
Pretty much. Yeah.
I mean, like, shouldn't like so like would you? I'm hoping that at this point he's like, listen, I can't have you. I'm gonna maybe find a family that you can live with because you live with me, you're gonna die.
Yeah, we're putting you into the foster system.
Okay.
Or he's so surprised to see her.
Wait. When you're safer in the system than living with Charles Bronson, that's that's a problem.
Yeah.
That'd be a great like deleted scene. He's like outside. He's like just like in the fourth one. He just keeps walking, and he I guess walks right back to New York. at the end of this one, he's like walking. He's like, all right, time to start a new chapter. And she's in the car. And she's like, I survived too, Paul. Where are we going to go next? He's like, son of a bitch. I thought you were dead. Okay, well, let's go.
Or like as he's driving off, like someone shoots like a drive-by and she dies right in the car. like right there as he's like, starting his next chapter. Like,
Jesus.
Just like old times.
He's like, yes. I mean, Death Wish 6. But yeah, so that was Death Wish 5. We'll go to our guests who are nice enough to take the time out to join us for our 5th anniversary. Nick, Death Wish 5. Would you recommend somebody to watch this one?
I mean, if you watch the first 4, you got to see how it ends. I mean,
yeah,
I would recommend it just because it's batshit. There are some boring moments, but I mean, it's just every scene is just wild. So yeah, I would recommend it.
All right. Well, Nick, thank you. The next 5 years you'll get a lot of even worse sequels. So that'd be good. Andrew, I got the powers. Our Bronson expert. The only way we can finish up Bronson would be Death Wish 2, which maybe that could happen in the next year. Would you recommend the 5th installment?
You kind of have to. You have to watch it. I liken it to almost like Rocky 5. I think this is like.
You know what? Great comparison.
Oof.
But I think Jamie's right though. If you take all of these deaths without any context, he's a serial killer. You could have changed the music a little bit, and this would have been a completely different movie because they were
cut this movie into a horror movie.
Yeah, it'd be like Friday the 13th or something.
Yep.
Yeah.
But good luck trying to find the movie, though. You're gonna have to do a Star subscription.
Yeah,
nice free trial. Wow, man, 5 people watched Death. Wow, this is amazing.
And then canceled the next day.
So bizarre. Should we check in on these people? Are they okay? Should we do like a home check?
Well, you know what it is? They're probably thinking like, "Oh, I knew we should not have this movie on there because people are canceling their subscription after they watch this movie." And it's like, if we didn't have this movie here, they would have stayed.
Yeah, that's why. So again, thank you, Andrew. Jamie, I got 2 questions for you. Would you recommend this one first?
All right. So it's not a good movie. He looks old. He looks like an old lady in this movie. But I'm going to go like what the other guy said, because it's part of the series. You have to, if you've gone this far, how can you stop now? Like, you have to finish it. Right. But it's not a good movie. Like, I wouldn't say, like, if you have never seen a Death Wish, don't watch this one. But if you're planning on watching all of them, then you start from the beginning and watch it. But yeah, I mean, it's not a good movie, but you have to watch it if you're already committed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, I totally agree. And the other question is, because Andrew brought it up, what would you rather watch again? I think I know your answer, but it's good to have 5 versus 5. Or how about this? Even better, rank the 5 movies that we covered. And I'll just throw some out of there. Friday the 13th, Part 5.
Is that Jason Goes to Hell?
No, that's
no, that's,
New Beginning.
Wait, you're
New Beginning.
I would say the Hell one, because there's no Jason in that movie.
Well, that's not a 5. So that's not. That's not the
you
question.
going by 5? All right. Fine,
no, I'm saying I'm saying the 5th installment.
No,
so
I get it. I thought you were just going like the bad
5,
movie of the series. I thought you were going bad movie in the series.
No.
That's why I said Rocky. Okay, so Rocky 5. Okay, go ahead. So Rocky 5.
So what would you rather watch? Rocky 5 or Death Wish 5?
Rocky 5.
You haven't done Fast and Furious 5 yet,
or Halloween 5?
I don't remember Halloween 5, so that I would say Rocky 5 only because like the last 10 minutes. Like, so like the movie stinks, but the last 10 minutes I think is great. It's a good, I mean, even though it's not even a boxing match, but it's still a good, like, hearing Mickey, "Get up, you son of a bitch." Like, I mean, that's like, so I would say you have to be Rocky 5.
Yeah. I think the 5th installment's a hard one because you have that opening movie. And then after that, you have like what people could be like, "Oh, this is like the trilogy within the series."
Which Police Academy was 5?
Was that Russia?
That's Miami, right?
Oh,
no, 4 is Miami. No, Russia's 7.
Oh,
7. Jesus.
I don't know what 5.
So I wonder if like if is Mahoney still in 5? Like, it's
he left already. He left at 4, which is Miami, I think.
Okay, so there you go. So 5 is probably not one of the good ones. And so there you go. Yeah, the 5th one is like it's like the kiss of death. The 5th one, it seems like.
Yeah, Miami's 5. This is the first one he left on.
All right. Miami was okay. That's when Ogre is like, no, not Ogre. I'm thinking of
The dork. That's the dork scene. Hey,
that's dork scene. Okay. Yeah, okay. So it had its moments. All right.
Yeah.
That is classic.
It's a topic for another day.
Okay.
I was just saying because it's perfect for our 5 years. And so thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. Appreciate all the people that listen, comment on social media, all of our guests we had over the years, not just our 2 guest reviewers today. People like Chris Egan and all the people that took the time to, let us interview them, because not only, it helps us out, but I think they do enjoy, being able to tell their story about the beginning parts of their career and touch on some credits over the years. Nice trip down memory lane. I think it's very fitting. I didn't even think about this. So the next sequel we're going to be covering, I'm looking at her IMDb of the actress we're going to be interviewing. So next up for Easter, Critters 2. So that'd be a lot of fun for Jamie to dive into a Critters movie that has Eddie Deason. It's just so ridiculous. But
wait, are you saying Critters 2 is an Easter movie?
It is an Easter movie, so it's perfect.
Okay.
And for it, I chatted with actress Leanne Curtis, who was just so cool, so out there. I loved hearing about her career because her parents were in the business, Jack Curtis and Paulie Rubenstein. So it was pretty cool, the story about how they met. And she grew up in New York City. She's still in New York City. And one thing, looking at her IMDb, she was in the Jill Ireland story, Bronson's wife. It's kind of fitting. And she was in some other cool things. So it was fun going back. And before the interview, she was in a really cool episode of 21 Jump Street, Married with Children, Critters 2. Just a lot of cool stuff over the years. She was awesome. We talked about everything. She's out there, real. Just, it's a lot of fun. It's one of the most interesting interviews yet. And she was rad. And she's probably happy because Robert Downey Jr. just won. That was one of her good buddies back in the 80s when they were both starting acting together. So, yeah.
She's a character. She's a character.
Definitely a character. So don't forget to review, rate, share our podcast. Follow us on all social media at Sequels Only. And don't forget to check out our website, sequelsonly.com. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, guys.